Hello there guys, and welcome to the festival playlist in Forza Horizon 6 for the very first time. I am back with another festival playlist video. It has been a while. I think I stopped making these playlist videos around about 18 months ago when we started getting those repeat festival playlists in Horizon 5. But I'm very excited to be back with another playlist video. I'm really chuffed that the playlist is returning for Horizon 6. There's a couple of subtle changes, mostly related to layout and design, but we're going to be jumping into all of that today. I'm going to be doing a playthrough with you as we run through this very first playlist in Horizon 6. So the first thing to address is that this playlist launched on the 21st of May 2026, and it is the Welcome to Japan series. So we had a similar thing in Horizon 5. I think it was probably called Welcome to Mexico. I may be wrong. And the cover car for this is the lovely Mazda Furai from 2008. I've probably pronounced that wrong, but it's that really cool looking hypercar on the cover there, and it's also one of the series rewards for this series for obtaining 60 festival playlist points. I just want to apologise as well if I do sound a bit croaky today. I've got a bit of a sore throat courtesy of a little cold that I've picked up over the weekend, so apologies if I sound a bit like a croaky frog. Hopefully I won't, but if I do, then you know why. But in this video I'm going to be running through the whole playlist with you. It's the first time I've looked at it in Horizon 6. The gameplay that you're currently seeing on screen was me flicking through it earlier. But currently I don't really know how it's going to work. I'm hoping that it'll be fairly similar to Horizon 5. At first glance, most of the challenges seem to be similar to Horizon 5, with a few new ones thrown in there like the Horizon Play Challenge, but we've got those festival playlist points for each challenge, and then we've got the rewards for each of them as well, and then points contribute to the overall season and series rewards. So there are a couple of subtle differences. You'll also notice in the top right the festival playlist logo has been nicely updated, and it kind of implies that circular kind of recurring feel to the seasons where you work through the 4 seasons, then there's another series and you kind of start again. So it's a really nice emblem, and they've also adapted that into a logo for the festival playlist points, so you'll see that just the arrows are contained on that orangey kind of pinky background to denote the festival playlist points as well. So that is really cool, and I'm loving the way that they've updated this. Even if it is subtle, it's really nice to see a new user interface for us to take a look at. So I'm going to jump into it, I'm going to work through it, I'm going to see what tips I can offer in this video, but at the moment I know as much as you. But for this first video I want to walk through it, I want to experience it with you guys for the first time, and I will see what we can compare to Horizon 5, what advice I can give, but I will be learning as well as you. So let's jump straight into it and discuss the rewards that are available for this very first week, the summer season in Welcome to Japan. Okay, so for the summer season, for 15 points, we've got a Toyota Altezza RS200Z edition from 1999. That is personally not a car that I have ever heard of. It looks a bit like a Lexus IS300, is it? But it's really cool to see another what looks like family car in the game, which will hopefully be really cool. I always like it when they add more realistic cars into the game, so I'm definitely up for that. And then for 30 points, we've got a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 9 from 2006. Personally, it does seem like they are doing a bit of that recycling already, because that is a car that was in Horizon 5 if I'm not mistaken. It's another Evo, we've got quite a few of them already. However, it's still really cool, and hopefully it'll have some nice customization with it being a lovely Japanese car. I'm guessing that all of the rewards in this series are Japanese. We'll come to that in future weeks, but at a first glance I think they probably are, with it being a Welcome to Japan series. The series rewards, we've already mentioned the Mazda Furai, and then we've got a Nissan 370Z there for 120 points. Just before we jump into the first challenge, there are a couple of tweaks that have been made to the playlist for this game. The first notable one is that they appear to have ditched the entire hashtag Forzathon branding cum tag, meaning there's no Forzathon section, no Forzathon branded challenges, no Forzathon points, and as a result of that, no Forzathon shop. This is slightly disappointing, as it's quite an iconic, recognisable tag, and just calling it the weekly challenge, as you'll see on the screen here, is a tad boring, but I do understand it with the introduction of the Horizon Stunt Party as the new Forzathon Live / Horizon Arcade, and they probably wanted a bit of a rebrand. Another event missing is the trial, the one where you race with 5 other team members against 6 unbeatable driver ties across a best of 3 championship. Not sure if this is officially gone or whether it's just not here this week or this series, but it would be sad to see that go too. There's also no seasonal playground games, and that's because there's no PGG at all in Horizon 6. Another big disappointment. I've heard that they may be drafting up a replacement, but until it arrives, don't get your hopes up too much. And finally, we've got no seasonal event labs. Again, perhaps these will return, but for now they're non-existent. This is all probably why there's far less total achievable points for this summer season than we've been used to in Horizon 5, a good 25 to 30 less. And with that cleared up, let's get straight into the challenge then. The not Forzathon weekly challenge. It seems to work exactly the same with credits earned instead of Forzathon points. So with this first challenge, we've got to jump into the Toyota GR86. That is a car that I've driven a couple of times on my live stream so far in a couple of the races for our wristband events that we use in the B-Class cars. I've also put a few upgrades on it since, which you haven't seen yet on the channel, but I did record it in case I wanted to use it in a video. It's got some really cool customization. We've got to earn 3 stars at speed zones, we've got to earn 6 speed skills, and we've got to win the Hakone Nanamagari 2-gear race in that GR86. Doesn't mention that I can't upgrade it, so I'm hoping that I can. I'm just going to do them and show you the highlights of the gameplay on screen. It does look very similar to how it worked in Horizon 5, so let's get into that.
Arrived at your destination.
As you saw in that last clip, I couldn't finish the challenge because I didn't have the tow-gear race unlocked, but I've now thrown in here the tow-gear race we need to complete. I'm doing it on the screen as I speak, only this voiceover was added afterwards, so technically not at the same time. It was actually the last thing I completed once I realised how to unlock it, so I did all the other events first and then came back to it, because I originally thought I may need to progress on the wristband's career mode. So in amongst completing and recording the other playlist stuff, I did some wristband events too, but I never got to that tow-gear race, and it got to a stage where there wasn't much time left in the season, so I did a search on YouTube and found a very useful guide which told me all that I needed to know. And as it actually happens, street races and tow-gear races in Horizon 6 do not get put on your map like the other events, i.e. after you've progressed on the wristbands or the Discover Japan stamps. You actually have to discover them yourself by basically driving past them. So once I knew where it was, I drove there, and lo and behold it popped up onto my map and I could complete it. Very sneaky, the developers, but it keeps things entertaining, I suppose. So there you go, I could complete the challenge after all, and I hope that you managed to as well. Good tip to bear in mind for future reference though, if something similar comes up in another playlist very soon. For now, I'm going to skip the daily challenges and move straight on to the photo challenge, #FestivalVibes, which wants you to take a photo at the Horizon Festival Japan site. And we'll get 2 points for completing this and a car horn cat meow. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then I'll see you in a minute for the treasure hunt. Okay, so that one was a bit finicky. It wanted me to actually be right next to the festival for that photo to work, but never mind, we move on to the treasure hunt, which is Otani region. So it wants you to follow the photo clue to discover the treasure, which is presumably in the Otani region. They used to give these names in Horizon 5, maybe it's something that they'll do in different series, but for now it's just called the Otani region treasure hunt. It'll get us 3 points and 100,000 credits. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I haven't got a clue where this is. All I know is the region, which I can filter on my map, but I haven't got a clue. All I can go off is that there is a lovely Japanese building in the background, and the treasure chest itself looks a bit different to Horizon 5, because rather than being like a pirate's chest, it's that like colourful Horizon Festival box. So I'm going to go ahead and try and find it. I'll show my progress on the screen. I'll probably have to speed some of the footage up, but I'll show you where the treasure chest is as well. So if you don't want to see it and you want to find it for yourself, perhaps pause the video or skip 30 seconds when it gets to that point. I am going to jump back in here to explain the gameplay you're currently seeing. This is something that I discovered by complete fluke when I was on my way to where I thought the treasure chest might be. By the way, it wasn't there. It took me a good 20 minutes to find it, but we'll get to that in a minute. It's basically a new feature where you can drive the series reward car, or in this case series cover car. Not sure which it's actually supposed to be because the Mazda Furai is both for this series. And you can drive for a maximum of 3 minutes. And you can only do it once in the whole series before you actually then obviously unlock it if you complete enough points. I suppose it's a good way of seeing if you actually want to bother unlocking it or not. Obviously I would anyway, just being me, but if you're wondering whether you want to put the time into it, then I suppose it's quite interesting. It's also cool that it's limited to one time only, because it stops people abusing the feature and not then actually unlocking the car, so very canny design there by the developers. Now, given that I knew nothing about this until I found it here, and I haven't heard anything since as of yet, I don't know if this is actually going to be a feature every series, or whether it was just for this first series. I guess only time will tell. But with that said, let's get back to the treasure hunt. So, this is where the treasure is. I should have come here straight away, to be honest, after thinking it looked promising on the map, but instead I wasted 20 minutes driving around most of the Otani region before this was the only place left, essentially. But anyway, we got there in the end, and I hope that you did too. And I say that in the past tense because I am of course aware the summer season has now ended, so it's no longer completable. So I hope that if you did attempt it during the season, that you were able to find it probably a bit quicker than I did.
You got the treasure! Would you say you're more like a pirate or a detective at this point?
We now move on to the seasonal championships, of which there are 3, just like the good old Horizon 4 and 5 days. This one is called Hot Like Summer, and we must complete all 3 races, because I'm doing it solo. I think in co-op, if it's the same as Horizon 5, it would be a best of 3, so you may only need to win 2 races, and we're doing this in C-Class Retro Hot Hatch cars. As you can see, I didn't have any, so I had to buy one, and I chose the 04 Civic and put a nice livery on it. And let's head off to the first race. Just had to show you that I did get revenge for being shunted into the wall by that AI. The driver tires may have tried to be aggressive, but I'll always put up a fight. Right, so that's that one done. I'm not sure what difficulty driver tires we were racing there, but it wasn't too bad in my stock Civic in the end. In FH5 these championships were locked to highly skilled driver tire difficulty, but it might not be the case in this game. But anyway, we managed to complete it, so all good. But moving swiftly on, the second championship, Street Fighter. This one restricted us to A-class modern super saloons, and I went for the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio, possibly the nicest mouthful of a car name that there is out there. I've never been a massive fan historically of street racing due to the AI traffic cars spawning pretty much right on the apexes and other annoying places in the race, but I'm trying to overcome that hatred to enjoy the game, enjoy the feature, enjoy the street races. So here's a bit of gameplay from this set of races. And to wrap up the championships, it's Throwback Throwdown, which is in B-Class Retro Rally Cars. Here I only had one option, unless I bought something else, but the Tommy Mackinnon Edition Evo is a pretty decent and fun car to chuck around, so I went with it, and I'll be honest, I had a hell of a lot of fun in these races, so here's some gameplay. That concludes the championships, and we now have 3 seasonal PR stunts to attack, quite literally with this first one, because it's the Hikibi time attack. Brand new feature for FH6, these time attacks are essentially free roam races where you race against the clock around a tight and technical course and drive away from the circuit whenever you've had enough. This one is a dirt surfaced time attack where we can use any car from A class. I chose the welcome pack version of the Mitsubishi Evo 9, and all I had to do was beat the seasonal time target of 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Now, can you better it? Of course you can.
The next PR stunt for summer is the airfield takeoff danger sign. Having never tackled this before, nor indeed visited this airstrip, I ended up going the wrong direction at first, but quickly figured it out when it was apparent that I was going the wrong direction, and I was able to jump off the correct way to attempt the seasonal target of 213 metres. And finally for the stunts, it's the Bamboo Hilltop Speed Trap. This one required 110 mph or faster, which is 177 km/h if you use them units. So, off we go. We now move into the online section of the playlist with the first of 2 events here, the Horizon Play Challenge. Horizon Play is the new online hub for Horizon 6, replacing Horizon Open from Horizon 5, and contains everything racing wise and online game mode wise. For this one we simply had to achieve 3 great speed skills in a Horizon racing session, and I know from Horizon 5 that this is a speed of 150 mph or 241 km/h. The gameplay you were seeing was actually my 3rd session, as the first 2 were in B600 cars, road and then cross country, where in neither I managed to achieve 150 mph, so I didn't get any of those 3 speed skills. So it was this S2 session where I completed it, and as you can see I didn't even need to do a race because I thought just in time that I could squeeze it in while waiting for the race. My advice with this one, if a similar thing comes up in future festival playlists, is to cancel or quit and then retry until you get an S1 session or faster, because anything else you're just wasting your time if it's any slower than that, which is basically what I did. So that would be my advice on that one, a bit of learning from experience there. The penultimate event in this week's playlist is a game of hide and seek. All I needed to do was complete a round, no need to win. This feature was introduced relatively late in Horizon 5's life, probably the last major update if I remember correctly. It worked quite well there, but I'm hoping that the map of Japan will make it even more competitive, and this Eastern Tokyo map should be very interesting. And the fact that they've actually split Tokyo into parts also tells a story of how big this area is. We know that it's the biggest urban area ever, but the fact that they've split it into bits is quite telling in that respect.
That is a hider's compass. It'll point you in the rough direction of where the hider is located. The hider will be in a vehicle that blends in with the rest of the traffic. Watch closely for any cars that are driving differently to the rest. To your advantage. Alright, you're near the hider. Figure out which car it is if you don't already have your suspicions. If you stick to them, their detection bar will fill faster. Fill it to the top and you are the winner. But the hider is getting a little too close to their finish line. Catch them out before they get there.
So it wasn't to be for my team of seekers. I was the only one who seemed to know how to play the game essentially, but that pesky slowdown perk that hiders have stopped me from doing any damage on my BMW M8. I must say it's quite irritating when hiders can just wipe you out like that, but I guess it's all part of the skill of the game. So on to the final event we go. And here we are then, the final event in the very first Horizon Japan Festival playlist, except this one's a bit different because it's a monthly event. As it was in FH5, this event can be completed in any week of the month. The monthly rivals, if you complete it in summer, it'll be completed for the whole month and you won't need to do it again in the other 3 seasons, but you can of course leave it till later in the month and the points will be added retrospectively to the previous seasons. It gets you 4 points on the board for the series tally and 1 point for each individual season. This month it's the Mazda Furai we're testing out and it's set at the Sony circuit, another of the game's time attack circuits. The only objective here is to post a clean lap, so although I beat my rival, it would have been fine if they beat me too. I simply quit when I'd done it, and the challenge was complete.
That's how you do it. It's also how you're...
And there we go, the very first festival playlist in Forza Horizon 6, complete. I really hope that you've enjoyed watching that playthrough. There was a lot to cram into this video, hence the fast forwarding and the fast paced transition, so I only showed the most crucial bits in this video. I'm not sure how the format of my playlist videos is going to look going forward, but it's really nice to be getting back into them anyway. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments, as I will happily welcome any suggestions and or feedback. But for now though, keep having fun in Horizon Japan, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!